Okay, this week I'm actually going to get into a supplement that, while not necessary, is beneficial though. So that's one's a pre-workout. So now, first and foremost, I have to preface this saying that with this being a beneficial one but a not necessary one, first and foremost, you need to get your nutrition in check, and then when you start looking into once you do get your nutrition in check, and you start looking into supplements, you want to first and foremost look for things like videos I've already gone over on some of them. Things like your multivitamin, protein powder. You could consider a food source, but I'll chunk in here as a supplement. Fish oil, joint supplements, and probably any micronutrients that you might be deficient in. So like some would be good, like vitamin D. Like me being in the Northeast, stuff like maybe a vitamin C and zinc supplement during the winter because we're inside more, and vitamin C and zinc could help with like your immune system. So you want to first and foremost look at stuff like that when it comes to supplementation. First, when you get your nutrition in check, you then look at where your gaps are in your macro and micronutrients. So like with your macronutrients, this is why a protein powder is great. Now, it's not 100% necessary to have like a post-workout shake and everything. It does depend on like how when and how you train and everything. If you're someone like me who pretty much trains first thing in the morning and you train fasted, then yeah, you kind of will want more likely want to have that like protein shake like within that like first half hour after getting done. But if you train, say, like at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon when getting done work and everything, and you've already eaten several times in the day, you don't necessarily need a post-workout shake and everything. Now, it doesn't hurt to do it anyway to get that added extra protein in, to increase the quantity that you're doing, and increase the frequency that you're taking. So, but it's not necessary with the anabolic window. But like that's one of the things with supplements that like you could definitely look at first. Multivitamin. The reason that is so that way you are making sure you're getting in all those micronutrients, and so it's always good to overshoot by some, because like you might not necessarily be absorbing everything. And like, so like for instance, like if based on the 2,000 calorie diet, if you have a multivitamin that say gives you 100% in everything on top of what you're eating, with the food, nutrients that you're getting from the food, you might want to like overshoot some stuff. Like this is where something like vitamin D comes in handy, especially like here, like I said, with me being here in the Northeast, vitamin D, especially during the winter, would be beneficial. And then of course, then again, you also have to look at like where you're deficient. Like me, I've noticed that have like taking an iron supplement a couple times a week is pretty good. Now, I donated blood like a couple months ago, and I noticed it had gone down a little bit. Normally, my like iron range is in like a 14 something. Last time it was like 13.5. So noticing that, I upped it to 3 times a week. So this next time when I donate blood, I'll see how my iron levels are. So now, once you get all that figured out, now we get into this beneficial but not necessary supplement of a pre-workout. Now there's two types of like pre-workouts. There's like the ones that have stimulants in it, and then there's the ones that don't have stimulants. So now, I mean, I got total like a Redcon's Total War here. So like for ingredients, so like for instance, this one usually has like a, I have to read the labels, like 6 grams of citrulline malate, which is like a correct dosage. Beta alanine 3.2 grams, which is usually about the correct dosage. Then you got agmatine sulfate 1 gram, taurine, which is used for like energy, 1 gram. Caffeine anhydrous is 250 milligrams. Most stimulants have like 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine. Now the RX1 pre-workout has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it. So then we have juniper, 150 milligrams, dicaffeine malate, providing 70 milligrams of caffeine. There's 100 milligrams of that. the theobromine 50 milligrams, green tea extract has 45 milligrams, naringin is fruit extract is 25 milligrams, and bioperin, black pepper fruit extract, 10 milligrams. So you also get 230 milligrams of sodium and 250 milligrams of potassium. So that's like a stimulant workout. Now, a non-stimulant one that I just started trying today is this one from Norris Fitness is glorious pumps and everything. So this one is slightly different. It has vitamin C, 350 milligrams, choline, 120 milligrams, sodium, 450 milligrams, potassium, 60 milligrams. This has L-citrulline, 6 grams, betaine anhydrous, 2.5 grams, nitrocyanine, I'm butchering the pronunciations, that has 1.5 grams, agmatine sulfate, 1 gram, alpha GPC, 600 milligrams, grapeseed extract, 500 milligrams, L-glutathione, 400 milligrams, pine bark extract, 300 milligrams, and bioperonine. Again, my pronunciations suck. That one's 10 milligrams. So those are the two types of pre-workouts that you can use. Now, again, I'm going to preface this by saying, first and foremost, your nutrition that needs to be in check, because no matter amount of supplementation is going to fix a shitty nutritional approach. You could be eating donuts and fruity pebbles and ding dongs, and you can, for dinner, you can be popping in a bunch of TV dinners and everything. Taking supplements isn't going to fix that shitty ass nutritional approach. So that's why you need to get that first in order. Then all the ones that I mentioned before for supplements, you kind of need to get stuff like that. And of course, all the vitamins and minerals, protein powder, fish oil. A good one would be joint supplement for lifting and everything. But where something like this comes in handy is I'll reiterate, it's not necessary, but is beneficial, because you can be sipping on it on your way to work, and it can give you that extra energy to kind of help give you that extra boost in your workout and everything. So now, neither of these have any creatine, which is another supplement that is perfect to supplement with. Now, I've done a video all the supplements I've mentioned other than this pre-workout I've done videos on. So creatine, you don't need the preload. You just need to take 5 grams of the creatine monohydrate. You're probably going better served taking micronized, because that's better absorbed. If you are one of those rare people that does have digestive issues with the monohydrate, there is HCl and Crealkaline versions of it. It's a little more expensive, but in the rare case that you are having digestive issues, the monohydrate, you can go with those. Now, the RX1 pre-workout does have 2.5 grams of the creatine HCl in it. Now, with HCl and Crealkaline for creatine, they tend to be better absorbed, so that's why the dosage can be a little lower. So with these, I've used this one, and I'm just started using this one. And since they don't have any creatine, how I supplement with creatine is I put the creatine in with that and everything. And I mean, there is a protein powder that I do get from the local Aldi that has a couple grams of creatine in it. So I usually end up having probably at least 9 grams of creatine in it through my diet and everything. So if you do come across a pre-workout like this that doesn't have any creatine in it, I would say it would be a good idea to put it in there so you know you're getting it. Now, with creatine, I've stuff I've stumbled across that says it doesn't really matter when you take it, as long as you take it. For me, this is the way I take it. So when I put this or whatever, I take a scoop and I put it in my shaker. I also have some creatine that I'll scoop out and put in that too. So that way I know I'm getting it in. So, but this video is pretty much to talk about the pre-workouts and how they can be beneficial. But again, I'm going to reiterate that they aren't necessary. So you won't need them. Now, if you have your nutrition in check and like all the other supplements that I've mentioned that I've made videos on, protein powder, multivitamin, fish oil, joint supplement, creatine, you get all that, any deficiencies in any micronutrients. Once you get that in, then you start looking for maybe like a something that's a stimulant, like a Total War here, or the RX1, which is like is the one that is usually my go-to now. Norris Fitness does have like a pre-workout too, so I would rate that as my number 2 behind the RX1, and like of course this is my number 3. This one is probably the easiest for me to get because I can just go into Dick's and get it. So, and like I said, I'm just now starting to try a non-stimulant one with this one, and like I read the ingredients and everything. So I do use a pre-workout because they are beneficial, but I'm going to reiterate they aren't necessary. And so this is just a quick rundown. Be like, once you get things, your nutrition and like again the proper supplementation in order, then you start looking for stuff like this to kind of try and tweak out that last 1 or 2%. So like this is kind of the bring awareness, like yeah, like a lot of times like you'll go into like maybe a GNC and they'll be pushing stuff like this, like, oh yes, you need this, you need this. Like, again, to end this video, I'm going to reiterate, first and foremost, you need to get your nutrition in check. Second, when you look at supplements, the videos I've done on things like protein powder, fish oils, multivitamin, all those videos, you get that stuff in order. Then when you get all that and you're sitting there, you're training regularly, you get that in order, then you start looking for stuff like this and everything. Don't sit there and jump like, oh hey, look, this pre-workout's going to fix everything. Okay, no, you need to get your training in order first. You need to get your nutrition in order first. Again, the supplements that I mentioned, you need to get that stuff done, and then you get this stuff and everything. So this, like, even though it is beneficial, it should be on your bottom of the list when it comes to getting the supplements. But I'm just kind of doing a video on like, this is something you can use. And yes, I do use pre-workouts and everything because again, it is beneficial and I do use it, but my message is to get the stuff that I've been reiterating over and over first before you get into one of these.